here? All right, fantastic. We are recording now. Hello, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining us for this month's Aruna update. In this session, we are going to be covering updates through a webinar style session. And then we did do a recording on site, and I will get that to everybody after the recording here, after the session here, so that you're able to see a little bit more and visualize a little bit more about what I am talking about. So with that, I'm going to try to keep this really under 30 minutes. I know that everybody is really busy. Hopefully within 15, 20 minutes, we can get everything out of the way. And then as you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me through that Q&A section of the control panel. Or if you're listening to this afterwards, after the live session, then you can obviously type your questions there into YouTube. And if you are not yet subscribed to our Luna Realty Belize YouTube channel, definitely do that. We have lots of great content and information that's shared with you. And especially if you are somebody who's looking at real estate in Belize, we cover a lot of great information. So with that, let's just jump right in. So to give you an overview of Aruna, Aruna is a new resort property that is located just across the canal, about 5 minutes from Ambergris Caye town, San Pedro town. And then it's also about 15 minutes from Secret Beach. I'm going to show you a map in a moment there. But the property, it's a beautiful property, a stunning property, and it ranges from studios up to 3-bedroom properties. So just depending on what your ultimate goals are, whether you want to relocate here, or you're primarily looking for an investment, or maybe investment now, relocate later. I know that's a big goal for a lot of the owners. You have that flexibility in doing so. So just to give you a quick overview of the location. So I mentioned to you, we're 5 minutes from San Pedro town. So we're located right now over here in letter B. That's where the office is. Go right across the canal, or right across the lagoon rather, there at Aruna. And then mentioned to you the road to Secret Beach. So the property is part of Ambergris Caye. We call this part West Ambergris Caye. Sometimes when people are looking at a map, they think it's a separate island, but it's nice because it is part of the island. It actually is connected up here at the northern part, and then this is the lagoon. So this section really is like a peninsula, I would say, but it is all connected to Ambergris Caye. So convenient location, easy enough to get to. There are boat shuttles that are part of ownership here. So when you do decide to become an owner at Aruna or be a guest at Aruna, there's a boat shuttle that goes back and forth between the heart of downtown and then also of the property, so that you're able to get back and forth really quite easily. So I do want to update you folks that the master plan has changed a little bit as we continue with the development. We are tweaking things, and one of our big goals was to really make sure that the next phase, phase 3, is being built in conjunction essentially with phase 1 and phase 2, because we didn't want to get all the way down the canal and then start up on the construction for the future phases and then just have construction running against all of the properties that were already finished. So just a heads up, if you have the brochures handy, expect by this afternoon when you refresh the brochure to see this update in here. But I did want to mention that to you because it does look a little bit different from what we've seen in the past. So we're going to go through phase 1 updates. This phase is currently under construction. It is looking really, really good. I got some photos for you. I'll also make sure everyone has that video update I was chatting about, where you can see the landscape, you can see everything even better. And then phase 2 will have phase 2 updates. And then also, we don't have any updates at this point on phase 3. I mentioned to you folks there that it is coming soon, and we do anticipate having more information over the next few weeks here. But if you would like to get that information as soon as it's available, you can always ask us to be added to the email list. And that is info@lunarealtybelize.com. That's where we'll be able to make that note on your file there to update you on phase 3. So phase 1 is ideal for somebody who is ready to own something that is opening in the next few months. Phase 2, ideal for somebody who's looking for something that'll be open in the next, let's say, 6-7 months. And phase 3 is anybody who's looking beyond that timeline. So what is already existing, and follow my cursor over here, is this pool and the pier, the dock coming down to the property, the beach area, and then 10 of the homes here in phase 1. These next 4 homes are under construction right now. Then this area is what we call the back of house. Back of house is where housekeeping has their facilities set up. There's laundry over there also for the resort. And then we also have the water systems there. And then phase 2, this is the tiny home area. And then also the larger 2- and 3-bedroom models are right over here. This green space that you see, that is the common area space. So that is where there'll be a gym and a playground. and then go across the bridge, and that's where there'll be the commercial area, food, shops, etc. So all of this is actively being worked on. Phase one actively right now. Phase two is in progress as well with some of those home under construction. And then phase three is coming up soon. So here's just a quick update of also the amenities that's under construction. So our beach area, the pool area, the restaurant. We do have some pictures from the pier area for you to be able to see that. That's where all the three of those are, or two of those are, the pool club and then the overwater restaurant. High-speed internet is already in. If you listened to our update last month, that was one of the big pushes to get internet. Typically, when people come on vacation, that's like the first thing they ask for when they check in is what's the Wi-Fi password, right? So getting that all established was really important. Also, the canal front homes do have the overhanging decks, which are really beautiful, king-size rooms, and then additional features coming soon. And then one point I mentioned last month was pickleball. That had a little asterisk on it because we're just not sure where exactly it's going to go yet, but it is still on the radar to be constructed. These are some renderings of what we're visualizing that common area to be, with the kiosks, with the area for people to come together. I know I've had questions from people who are asking if they could start a little business and run a kiosk, and the answer to that is yes, of course. When the property is open and this part of the property is open, if you have that entrepreneurial spirit or idea, or you want to move down here, but you're not yet ready to retire, this could be a future business opportunity for you. At this point, we don't have any rental rates or anything for the kiosks, but just let us know what your interests are and we will certainly keep you posted. So in Belize, we tend to live outside. It's tropical climate, so you will see a lot of the amenities do tend to have the outdoor features there. So we're going to jump into phase one and discuss what's been happening over the last 4 weeks here. So we had the mural by the local artist. Her name is Elvie. She's awesome. That was completed in the bar area. Additional landscaping, which I'll show you some more picture. There's grass that has been added. So it's a beautiful front entryway. The grass will continue down through the property as well. Obviously, as the property is under construction, where you don't want to put landscaping in, if it'll just have to get ripped out. So the landscaping is currently going in areas that will stay. In addition to that, the interior finishes for the first phase cottages have been ordered. We do have an interior designer who's the local artist who has been putting her finishing touches on them. They are coming from out of country, these finishes, so we're going to expect them to arrive in about 3 to 4 weeks. In addition, we re-roofed the 10 existing cottages. And if you can follow my cursor, I know some of you are new to this project. So these 10 exist already, and then these 4 are under construction right now. But these 10 here, we did decide to re-roof it just to make it more durable and sturdy. In addition to that, I mentioned this, the custom finishes. Well, I didn't actually mention that yet, but I will. The custom finishes for the existing home. So as home owners and buyers are coming in and before the property is open to the public, we are able to do some custom changes. So I'll show you some of that that's been happening. In addition to that, the bathroom on the pier has services. I know some of these things are not super exciting for you, but for somebody who's an owner or somebody who is going to become an owner, it's really great to see progress, and it's really great to have all these things get completed. In addition to that, the general maintenance on the cottages, the 10 cottages that are here existing, those have been completed. So spraying for termites and retouching the paint, since these 10 are wood. So you do need to make sure they are maintained properly. In addition, the kitchenette cabinets for the cottages, those have been installed. Foundations for the last 4 units that I mentioned to you, those are completed, and the steel is arriving very soon. And then the road in and out of the property, which is in this area over here, is getting graded. So you will have access between phase 1, phase 2, and then the primary road going up to Secret Beach. So here are some visuals for you. This is I wasn't quite all done in this picture when I took it, but the phase 1 mural by the local artist. So this is the bar area this is the pier that we're standing on here, the bar area, first floor, restaurant, second floor. And then the third floor is going to be the lounge area. I know that there's going to be some more mural work done by this artist here. So this was just some pictures that were taken as they were happening. In addition to that, I mentioned to you the landscaping that's been added. So additional grass and additional greenery, because when you first pull up to the property on boat, you see the pier there, but then of course you see these 4 structures. This is the fourplex, but you want to be greeted, by something that is inviting. And so for those of you who are still learning about the project, one of our concepts is where the jungle meets the sea, or the sea meets the jungle, and incorporating as much greenery into this space as possible is exactly what we'll be doing. All right, so here are some custom finishes to the phase 1 home. So this one is specifically the duplex on the canal. The owner decided that he wanted to put in an outdoor kitchen, so we've been working with him to get the outdoor kitchen completed. And then in the video that I did a walkthrough of this duplex, so you're able to see it a little bit better. But that'll all come in the email if you're listening live. If you're not listening live, we'll have the link to it on YouTube. In addition, again, little things that make a big difference, but the pure bathroom services were installed. Also, the foundations here were ready to go. They had to change around and add some pillars there in order to meet the models, because for these 4 homes here, the owners did have a little bit of flexibility about what model they chose. So I finished all the foundations to make sure that the models fit there. And that's right over here. And then at this point, there's one more studio model, R3, located on the canal that is available, going for $239,900. What's really neat is these include the furniture. I know a lot of pre-construction properties, they do not include furniture, do not include any kitchenette or kitchen items. These all do. This is really a turnkey solution. So $239,900, a beautiful space, large space. There's actually the kitchenette right over here. And then obviously the access to the bathroom. But this is a great one to note, about 800 square feet with tons of outdoor space. Here are some of the interior looks to it. You can see a lot of the custom hardwoods integrated into the construction, which is really beautiful. And there is short-term financing available, 50%. If you are looking for financing, the developer is willing to do some financing for you. Reach out to us and we're happy to give you the rates. And then just some more from the bathroom, not yet completed when we were taking the picture, but again, good concept and good for you to be able to visualize it a little bit more. In addition, in phase 1, there's one more duplex. I personally think this is just an absolute no-brainer for somebody who's looking for an investment property. Here in the country, you have 2 rental units for under $300,000. It includes the furniture, HOA is $300 a month, and you have the option to get a little flexible with the finishes. You can add the rooftop veranda, you can add the rooftop wet bar, you can add the outdoor kitchen. And those are additional upgrades. We're happy to talk to you about costs. However, do note that this property has been started construction-wise, a specific duplex. So if you want to do any customizations, we really need to know that now. We had a fellow who is looking to do a plunge pool, which is possible. However, if you're doing it, if you're listening to this 2 or 3 months later, to retrofit it is going to be more expensive. So for those who are online with us live right now, you have that advantage of reaching out to us and getting in before it gets harder to, or more expensive rather, to put that plunge pool in, if that is something that you're looking for. But again, it's a duplex, so it's a studio model. They have a kitchenette, bathroom on each side. So it's essentially 2 rental units for under $300,000, an absolute winner in my mind. And these are just some of the upgrades that you can do, should you choose to do so. All right, let's look at phase 2 here. So for the phase 2 homes, the steel has arrived for these Kokora models for the tiny homes, and then also the Udara model, that's a 3-bedroom home. We've been working on the customizations for the Tula model, for this specific Tula model that was recently purchased. And just to give you some examples of the customizations that we're able to do, the surround sound speaker system, they're doing a rooftop deck, they're adding a garage because they may be wanting to bring down a jet ski or a vehicle at some point, an island in the kitchen, Murphy bed, and that's just a handful of little things there. But it really goes to show the sort of customizations you can do if you're coming in prior to the property being completed. We also have additional crews on island to get the project started more vertical. The steel has just arrived recently over the last day or 2. So now the crews are on site to get the property going vertical. I do want to mention to you as well that T16, and this is really more so for the people who've been following us for a while, you probably have a better idea of the layout versus the people who are just joining us. But I do want to update that T9 over here, sorry, it's T9. This one is, we're taking that unit out entirely. And so that's going to actually be more green space, so more advantageous for the people who are there in the Kokora model, and then also in this Tula model. So I mentioned the steel has arrived. So just as a reminder, for these last 4 homes in phase 1, and then all of the projects going forward of the phase 2, phase 3, we are looking to do, and we are doing this steel construction versus the wood. So there will be wood finishes as well to complement what's already been completed, but this is just a bit more durable and also a little bit less maintenance. So just wanted to mention that. So we talked about phase 1, talked about phase 2. And then we're going to just talk about some of the models in phase 2. So this is the T16 model that's located right over here. Follow my cursor. The T16 model, I think this is a real winner of a property. Right now it's priced at $179,900. Come August 1st, the price is increasing to $199,900. Still, I think a really good value for this property. It's a single standing casita. You have the king bed, you have the full kitchen, obviously a full bathroom. You can add the plunge pool if you want, but I think this is a great way for people to get their feet wet on the island. If you perhaps aren't looking to invest too much into the country right now, or your budget is in that $200,000 mark, I think this is a really great option. Having been in real estate here in Belize and being very familiar with what's on the market right now, to find something in the 200 mark of this sort of quality and caliber, or even under the 200 mark of this quality and caliber, is impossible. I mean, really just impossible, especially in a single standing structure. So highly recommended to somebody who is looking for their own property. You can live here, you can rent it out. You do have that sort of flexibility, and you can add that plunge pool. And these are a couple of the other phase 2 model homes. The Kokora, which is the tiny home model, Tula 2-bed, 2-bath, and the Udara, which is a 3-bed, 2-bath. What's neat about the homes, the Tula and the Udara model, and even the Kokora over here, is that they do have solar that's included. So it's a hybrid system. You'll use the solar during the day. At night, you'll connect up to the electricity. This property does have public electricity, so it's not off grid. However, these 3 homes will have the solar as a hybrid system. So that's included. The Tula and the Udara, those also have a lap pool that's also included in the purchase price there. So I think that this is some of the best value I've seen on the island personally. And of course, I highly recommend it. I'm talking about the project, but just compared to what we've seen, I just find really great value here. And especially for the models that are along the canal front, you're able to have the really incredible views. So just giving you some examples, these are just renderings. Obviously, when we build, it may not be exact, it just depends on availability of product at the time, but this is what we're aiming to build. In addition to that, all of the wood, the wooden furniture that you see is going to be custom. So it really does look like what you see in the renderings. Tula, you can see this is the bigger home. This is the 2-bed, 2-bath. The higher ceilings, the shed ceilings there, windows all around, still capture that same essence of what we've seen in the phase 1 homes. Then the Udara, very similar to Tula in terms of the interior living room, dining room, and kitchen space, but there's another bedroom, so it has that 3rd bedroom. So again, just recapping what we were looking at, phase 1, these 4 homes here are actively under construction. These 10 are just getting finished up in terms of the interior finishes and any customizations that owners want before the property opens in a few months. And then phase 2, also actively under construction, but these homes there were built on demand. Phase 3 coming soon. I don't have pricing for you. I don't have all the finished layouts at this point, but I can tell you it will be more expensive than phase 1 and phase 2. So if you liked the numbers that you saw on the screen, I would highly recommend that you reach out for that additional information. Our next update session is going to be Friday, August 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's 12 p.m. local time for those who are listening in Belize or in Mountain Time currently. And if you're not able to come down in the next few weeks and you are interested in the property, I would highly recommend that you reach out to us to do a Zoom virtual tour. We'll grab our phones, we'll walk through the property, go backwards, forwards, left, right, whichever direction you want us to go, to really get a scope of it. Because there is just such limited inventory at this point in phase 1 and phase 2. And I want to make sure that those people who are interested are able to see it before those get claimed or before the phase 3 homes get launched and are more expensive. So with that being said, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you have anybody here on this session who has questions, we can wait a minute or 2 to get those questions answered. And I would be happy to get those. Oh, James, that's so sweet. James, thank you for joining us on the session here. Always good to see your name pop up. And I just have somebody who just reached out. Oops, went the wrong way there. Sorry, guys. Oh, goodness, sorry. Okay, let me get that pulled back up. All right, so someone who is asking to see the master plan again. Okay, so I'm going to just explain a little bit more about what's existing and what is currently coming soon or not yet built. So when you arrive by boat across the lagoon, You'll come right over here, dock over here. We ended up putting a bodega over here, security. So when people are checking in, they have somebody over there. That was in last month's update, but you can walk through. This is the area: first floor bar, second floor restaurant, third floor lounge, an awesome infinity pool overlooking the lagoon. In addition to that, tons of seating, shaded seating as well, so you don't get sunburned. And then when you come down the dock over here, there are actually little platforms on the side of the dock, which is where there'll be like day bed and lounge beds for people to relax. And then the beach area, which is existing. The seawall has come out, so there is more space over here. And then there'll be a little cove for people to get in and out of the water. And then, so these 10 homes existing, these 4 are the ones that I showed you the foundations for. So those are actively under construction. And then this is already constructed. This is the back of house. And then phase 2. So there are foundations that have been installed for the homes that say sold. And then from there, they're going to be going vertical now that we have the materials on site. So we're really excited about this. And I want to thank our usuals. I see some folks who've been with us since the last 6, 7, 8 months as we've been updating you on the project. We do hope to call you a neighbor down here at some point. I would highly recommend you reach out to us, info@Luna Realty Belize. If you would like additional information about ownership, we'd love to get you those details. And in the meantime, we hope to see you here in Belize soon. Bye, everyone.